One of the most interesting and really most reliable measurements of how Congress is going to go is what's called the generic ballot, which pollsters have asked for decades. And it says if the election were held today in your district, would you vote for the Democratic or the Republican candidate for Congress? No names at all. And because of gerrymandering that gives the Republicans the advantage, since they control most of the state legislatures that draw these districts, a Democrat generally has to get a lead of 4 or 5 points in the generic ballot. The party has to get that in order to assure itself a majority in Congress. In the last few days, that gap has been closing very significantly. It had been a gap of 13 or more points 5 or 6 months ago. Then it closed to 7 or 6 or 8 points in the last few months and pretty much stayed there. But in the last few days, it's closed even more. The four most recent polls, Reuters shows Republicans down 2, Economist Republicans down 3, Investors Business Daily shows a tie, and Rasmussen has Republicans down 4. That all comes to an average of 4 points. Whereas those same polling firms in their most recent polls, Reuters in late July had the Democrats up 6, Economist the Democrats up 6. On the same day, IBD had Democrats up 3, and on July 25th, Rasmussen had Democrats up 7. That comes to an average Democratic margin of 6. So the Democratic advantage in the generic ballot has now closed from 6 to 2 in really only the last week or 2 weeks. Why? I'm not sure. The big thing that's been happening lately is the Manafort trial. And I believe that a very important impact, which I think I pointed out in a video a few days or a week or 2 ago, is the man who isn't there. It's that great Edith St. Vincent Millay poem. When I was coming down the stair, I met a man who wasn't there. He wasn't there again today. I do wish he'd go away. And that man is, of course, Trump. This is the special prosecutor to investigate Trump collusion with Russia. And it's been making headlines for a year and a half over whether Trump would be impeached, whether Trump colluded with the Russians, the meetings at Trump Tower, the shenanigans of Trump Jr., and so on. And now the trial's happening, and Trump's name is nowhere at all. It's Manafort and Gates, and we're probing their conduct a decade ago in a country 4,000 miles away. And I think people are realizing that this has nothing to do with Trump. And that seems to be releasing a whole lot of votes that were being held up pending the revelations of the special prosecutorial investigation. It's a very interesting byproduct of that. And I'm not sure it's all due to that. It might be due to the good economy or that Trump has been out campaigning more. I'm not sure. But what's interesting is that it's there. Now, in tomorrow's Lunch Alert, I'm going to go into a very detailed analysis of the vulnerabilities of House Republicans and how many seats we might lose and how many we might gain. Today's Lunch Alert is sponsored by Money Morning with a really interesting investment idea. All federal agencies, like the DEA, the FBI, even the Defense Department, have to pay rent for any buildings that they occupy. And those rents can often be quite substantial and run into the hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. So an investment fund has been created so that you can share in the profits of those rents. And if you click on the link at the end of this video, you can figure out how to be part of it step by step, something many other Americans have done, and that turns out to be quite profitable. Thanks for watching.